welcome to another week's reading vlog. It is Monday and I am chilling in the library eating ice cream. It's nearly time for semi-literate. Normally we do it on a Friday, but we couldn't do last Friday, so we've rescheduled it for Monday. So this week there's two. There's going to be Monday and Friday. Ooh, exciting business. So it's 7:30. Semi-literate starts at 8. So I'm chilling in the library eating some ice cream whilst I wait for that. It's really melting because it's really hot. But as per usual on a Monday, I have edited and uploaded last week's vlog, so that's all gone. And I've done no reading, which is becoming a regular thing for Mondays. Just I take forever to edit the vlog, upload it, and then like the day is nearly over. I need to pull myself together. But of course I am still reading The Final Empire. I finished last week's vlog off at just over 200 pages, so page 204, and have made zero progress since then. But I will. Don't know when, but I will. And I've of course got a shit ton of other things to read this week. So after today's been a lazy day, tomorrow I'm gonna start kicking butt with the reading. Yeah, but until then, gonna eat ice cream and hang out. Anyway, yeah. I just thought I'd come in and introduce the vlog. Yeah, I might chat to you later, depending on if I have anything of interest to say. Or, you know, I'll just catch you when I catch you. Hello, happy Tuesday. I've done a bit of reading so far today. Not too much, but a little bit. Not much in Mistborn. I just read another chapter, so I'm up to page 213 now. So, you know, still going with this one. But I also decided that I should probably get a move on with this because I keep forgetting that I need to read it. And, like, I have 2 books that I need to read because this is the collection of all 4 of them. And I need to read The Tombs of Atuan and The Farthest Shore. So I'm planning to hopefully read The Tombs of Atuan today. That would be nice. I mean, it started on page 175, sorry, and I'm on page 206, so I've read like 30 pages of it, which seems okay, and it is only up to page 300, so I have less than 100 pages left of The Tombs of Atuan, and I mean, I need to read it, so that's my plan. But also, it's an absolutely gorgeous day, so I'm actually going to go for a walk. But I'm going to drive to my walking location, because we can do that now. And around me, like, I'm right by the hospital, so, like, it's totally built up where I am. There is no, like, nice walking tracks within, like, walking distance. So I'm going to drive to a park somewhere else in the town where there is a park, where there is like a walking area, and hopefully it's not busy, but I mean it's quite large, so even if it is busy I should be able to be like an acceptable distance away from people, and if it is really busy then maybe I'll go somewhere else, but I want to get out, so that's my plan. And I think I can get the audiobook for The Tombs of Atuan online somewhere. I seem to recall someone saying it was available, so I might do that as well. But yeah, that's my plan. Cool. Sweet. And if I can finish this today, then I can continue reading this later tonight, and I would call that a success. Because yesterday I read pretty much nothing, I think. And the size of my TBR means that reading nothing is really not an option. So, also, fun fact, I received more Amazon parcels today, and the stack is looking a bit precarious. I'm very much looking forward to opening all of those. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go to my walking location. I might actually take my camera with me and, you know, film some greenery along the way. Hello, it's much later than when we last spoke. I think the last thing you will have seen was actually me out on my walk, which I did go on and listened to more of the Tombs of Atuan, or Atuan. And I'm happy to report that I've just sat here on the bed and listened to the rest of it. I felt quite sick, like, this evening after dinner. I just felt really unwell, and I don't know if it was a mix of, like, being out for so long in the heat or I don't know, but I felt really, like, dizzy and sick. So I've literally just sat up here in the dark listening to more of this and reading along. And I have now finished it. It's come out at a 3-star. I think the first one came out at a 3-star as well. But in my mind, I feel like I enjoyed The Tombs of Atuan more than I liked A Wizard of Earthsea. But according to my core pile rating, The Tombs of Atuan didn't come out as high, so I don't know if I'm perhaps looking back on A Wizard of Earthsea with more negative memories than the feelings I had at the time were or not, perhaps. I think these books are quite difficult to talk about and explain. Like, they're very slow, just really slow, and I don't feel much emotion or care for them at all. But at the same time, our main character in The Tombs of Atuan is a young girl called Tana, and I did feel for her. Like, her situation was not great, although she wasn't necessarily aware of it not being great for a decent portion. So I definitely felt for her, but overall I didn't feel for the story. I didn't care for the outcome. Like, I was reading because I had to read, not because I cared. Jake's just turned the light on in the landing. That's much brighter, isn't it? It was definitely an interesting story. It's basically, our main character is basically the reborn priestess of the Nameless Ones. The Nameless Ones being like these deathly gods. And we kind of see the worship aspect of that, but what we know from the first book is that Ged's already faced one of the Nameless Ones and discovered their names, and like, they're no gods and they're nothing to be worshipped. And like, the way Tana and those people think that they should worship them is very interesting. And then obviously Ged is in this story as well, because I think all of these stories have Ged, but only the first one has him as like the central character. And then Ged comes along to kind of deconstruct this worship, or kind of just does that. I don't think it wasn't his purpose, but he informs us that they're not to be worshipped. It's difficult. Like, it was fascinating, but I wouldn't necessarily say I enjoyed it, if that makes sense. And there were also definitely a few problematic phrases used in this that get a no from me. So yeah, that's one down for the next Laguna Long live show. One left to go. You can see I've marked off that little mid chunk there that is The Farthest Shore, but I think I'm going to tackle that next week. But that is another book done. And it does mean that I've got like nowhere further in The Final Empire, because I've read all of The Tombs of Atuan, and although it's only 180 pages, they are slow, so it took a fair while. But yeah, I'm gonna sign off for the night. I might get some reading done of The Final Empire, I might not, we will see, but I will catch up with you at some point tomorrow, probably. Hello, happy Wednesday. It's quite early actually on Wednesday for me to be vlogging. It's not even 11 AM, but I'm up, I'm ready for the day. I'm going to be reading today, but that's not why I'm vlogging. I have a parcel! This excites me a lot, as you can see from the sticker on here. This is from Barry the Cactus, and this is actually one of my birthday presents from my mum, but it's plants, so I don't really want to leave it in the box until my birthday, because, you know, I want them to breathe. So I'm gonna open them now, because my mum literally just got them delivered straight to me so that I could open them when they got here and look after them. Not that cactuses need much looking after, but still. Right, I've got my little bonsai scissors, which are the closest thing to being used for their correct purpose they'll probably ever be. Right, so from my understanding with Barry the Cactus is that when you buy their like pre-potted cactuses, you don't get to pick which cactus you get, you just get to pick the pot, and then they put like a mystery cactus in there. So fingers crossed I like all these. But let's have a look. Barry the cactus. Caring for Barry. I'm very low maintenance, so even if you don't have green fingers, the cactus is your perfect companion. Oh, and they do like a monthly plant box. Interesting. Right, I'm very excited about this. Here's my first one. Oh, she's beautiful. This one's definitely a girl. She's got a beautiful pink flower. Look at her. Isn't she adorable? Yes, she is. I can barely see her soil, so it might be difficult to work out when it's completely dry, but I will try my best. They're not going to live on my bookshelves, but just for now, that's where they're going to go. I'm sorry that this segment of this vlog is probably going to be really long and it's just all cactus. Feel free to skip forward. Beautiful again. I love how like well wrapped these are. This one I can actually see into the soil for. I love it. Next. Oh, this one's just dropping straight out. Oh, she's a little one. Aw, she's adorable. I've just assigned female roles to all of these cactuses, apparently. I don't know what gender a cactus is supposed to be. It's a cactus, it's not supposed to have a gender. What am I talking about? But you know how like people say their cars are girls? That's how I'm feeling about the cactuses. Oh, I love this one. Love it. Oh my god, this one's hairy. Look at it. She's a little on the wonk. I think she's been a bit battered along the way. We can stick her back upright somehow, I'm sure. And the last one. I am in love with all of my cactuses. Cacti. They're the cutest things. Right, I'm gonna put them out on the windowsill and show you like close-ups of them all because they are adorable. Here are my cactuses. So this one is beautiful and tall and spiky. This one is beautiful with a big pink flower on it and a little spikiness. This is little and spiky. Another one that's kind of little cute. This one is the hairy one. And then the big, tall, traditional looking one. Although I suppose this one is also traditional looking. But like, look at them all together. I love them. Hi! Today's been interesting. I think the last time we like spoke was when I was showing you my cactuses. And then I filmed some like B-roll footage of being out and about for a walk in the woodlands. Reading wise, I have not made much progress with this. I think I've read like a chapter. I'm on page 222. I'm really slacking with this, but stuff keeps happening. So you may know what I'm about to tell you if you've been on Twitter or Instagram at all, following me there. But me and Jake went out for a nice picnic this afternoon. After he got home from work, he went out for a picnic. We were planning on going out for a picnic for my birthday, but Jake was like, oh no, tomorrow's supposed to be really nice, about today. We should go for a picnic tomorrow as well. So we did. We went to the lake. It's a really nice lake and it's got like a wooded area around it. So we went for a picnic at the lake and we're walking through the woodlands and this happened. Yeah, I don't know how to even like say it, but like, we're engaged. Yeah, he proposed to me in the like woodland area after our picnic by the lake, and now I have this beautiful ring on my finger and it's so beautiful and it's so exciting and like I'm so overwhelmed. but we stopped for a drink whilst we were like wandering around. You will have seen the footage I was taking. I was taking pictures and filming around the area, and he stopped at a bench for a drink, and I was like, oh yeah, have a drink as well. And then he started being all like soppy and like, oh, I love you. I was like, I love you too, what do you want? Why are you being soppy? What do you want? And he's like, no, I don't want anything, just want to tell you that I love you. I was like, okay, suspicious. And then he got down on one knee and asked me if I would marry him. And I said yes. Before I said yes, I kind of just looked down at him like, are you serious? Are you being serious? Is this for real? He was like, yes. And I was like, oh god, yes. And then he put the ring on my finger, and then we hugged and I cried into his armpit, because that is romance. It's also romance when you are as tall as me, and by as tall as me I mean as short as me. Well, like, crying into an armpit is normal. But yeah, I'm now engaged. I don't know when we will get married. Jake wants to be married before he's 30, so we have 4 years. 4 years. I'm probably gonna be like talking with my hand and showing this off a lot more than I normally do, but you know I talk with my hands a lot anyway, so like I'm not trying to rub it in. But it is beautiful, like seriously. It is beautiful. It's exactly what I want. It's a princess cut solitaire diamond on like a squared band rather than like a round band. It's squared off. And I think it's beautiful. And I love it. But yeah, basically that's what's happened today. So my reading has not gone quite to plan. Maybe tomorrow. We will see. And I still have 2 other books to read this week, which isn't looking that bad anymore, because one of them's Murder Most Unladylike, and I plan on reading the whole of that on Friday. And then Sisters of the Winterwood, which, I mean, technically I've got Monday and Tuesday next week as well. So I'm feeling okay about it. Now I've made the choice to swap out Evernight for Mayor and the Rising Dark, which I read earlier in the month. And for TBR Pursuit, that was a middle grade that not many people were speaking about, which Mayor and the Rising Dark hadn't been released and I hadn't seen much hype for it. Since then I have seen a lot more hype for it. So yeah, I've swapped that one out, so I don't have to worry about Evernight. So just Murder Most Unladylike, Sisters of the Winterwood, and the rest of the Final Empire, which is still most of the Final Empire. Oh, actually, before I forget about it as well, Letters to the King by Sebastian de Castell, but that's only like 30 pages, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. So I'm feeling okay. I might just have like rose-tinted glasses on right now because, you know, life's good. Okay, it's really hot. I'm really tired. I think I might go to bed. I will check in with you tomorrow and we'll see what the day has in store. Hello, just thought I'd do a quick update before I go to bed. I have read some of Mistborn today, but nowhere near as much as I wanted to, because I'm a shitty person, apparently. I'm now on page 259, so it's not looking like I'm going to get to Sisters of the Winterwood this week, but I do have Monday and Tuesday next week, so as long as I finish this week, and I'm going to read Murder Most Unladylike tomorrow, then we'll be okay, and then I can at least start Sisters of the Winterwood Monday, Tuesday, and it will just put me behind for July, and I'll just have to stick to TBR Pursuit for July and not read 4 books that aren't on it. Like a crazy person, which should be fine. So I'm not feeling too like overwhelmed by the fact that I'm not gonna finish TBR Pursuit, because I should be okay. So that's good. But I have filmed an unhaul today. I've taken a load of books off my shelf to unhaul and make room for the new ones, because my birthday is very soon and there's a lot of parcels that will have books in them. So hopefully I've made enough space to accommodate those. But yeah, I'm going to go and start editing that unhaul to post tomorrow, because tomorrow I really do need to read Murder Most Unladylike. I'm thinking I might go to the park, like with a blanket and the book and maybe some drinks or something, to just chill out in the park with it. That could be a good idea. But yeah, as for right now, I'm going to take my laptop to bed and start editing. So I will check in with you tomorrow. Hello, happy Friday. I'm having a no makeup day today. It's really friggin' hot, as usual these days. And I'm going to the park to read Murder Most Unladylike. It's in my bag. I've got that bag over there with a Christmas blanket and some drinks in it. And yeah, I'm gonna go to the park that I went for a walk in the other day and read there because that sounds like fun. So I'm gonna go and do that, and because I'm on my own and I'm not mingling with anyone, it's fine. It's gone midnight, so it's now 4 past midnight on Saturday morning. But I actually finished Murder Most Unladylike earlier today in the bath, and I haven't vlogged since because I've just been on my laptop sorting shit out. You can see that I tabbed it ready for Middle Grade Monthly's live show tomorrow. So by the time you see this vlog, the live show will have happened. I will link it somewhere, because me and Gavin will of course be discussing this in some depth. So if you haven't seen that and you want to see that, feel free to go and check that out. But to summarise, this got 8 red tabs, and my red tabs here mean problematic or made me uncomfortable or unnecessary, didn't like, just a red flag to me basically. There's then 3 blue tabs, and blue tabs here are where I really didn't like a certain character. There is 1 black tab which is for a plot reveal that was entirely predictable, not really a big thing, and like pretend shock, oh my god, just was not good. And then 2 green tabs, which are the 2 like slight redemption, okay, good bits. So my tabs indicate that I didn't love this, and I put it through Core Pile, and it's come out at a 2-star, and I know this is so many people's like favourite, and a lot of people are like, oh my god, it's amazing, you'll love it, it's one of my favourite middle grades, it's so good, and I'm sorry, but I don't see it. I really don't. I'm definitely looking forward to that conversation because I know Gavin gave it 4 stars, I gave it 2, Pris actually I think gave it 1, so we're definitely going to be on different ends, and it's going to be interesting to see what Gavin thinks and like what my counter arguments to that's going to be. I'm definitely looking forward to the conversation, but it wasn't for me, unfortunately. This is about, if you're not aware, a young girls' boarding school, and our 2 main characters, Daisy and Hazel, discover the dead body of one of their teachers. They run to tell someone, and then the dead body's disappeared. So now not only do they have a murder to solve, they have to prove it happened in the first place, and they have their own little detectives agency where it's just the 2 of them trying to solve this murder. Can you guess what the black tab is for? I just had problems with this. Hazel, it's all written from like Hazel's perspective, and Hazel is Chinese, and the way the characters approach that is just mind-boggling, and I don't think it's necessary at all. And I mean, you could say, oh, remember it's set in the 1930s, because I think it's set in the 1930s? 1934. So, like, having a Chinese girl at the boarding school would have been a bit taboo. But, like, fair, but this isn't an accurate historical story. This is a middle grade murder mystery. We do not need the awful actions that they do to Hazel, and the way they talk to her, and the way they treat her, and the way they talk about her, and about her ethnicity. It's not necessary. I was kind of waiting for like the redemption on that, or for like it to somehow, I don't know how because there isn't a purpose it could serve, but for somehow it to serve a purpose, and for her friends to acknowledge that the way people talk to her is not okay. And it never is. It's just left. Like, for example, one of the characters says to Hazel, but then where you come from, I don't suppose they teach you that it's wrong to lie, do they? Unnecessary. This one is just Hazel mentioning that sometimes they slip and little bits of nastiness, they're usually hidden, come sliding out of their mouths. So people just being horrible to her because of her ethnicity for no reason. Oh, and there's a rumour about, like, this criminal gang from the East, and one of the girls says, oh my god, what about the criminal group from the East? Oh, sorry, Hazel. Like, another thing, this one, having a debate about how Hazel got friends. And one of the characters said, she only took an interest in you because you're an Oriental. Here's another one. Hazel, in this country, we do not fight. We are civilized. It's just ridiculous. And there was no need. No need at all. And I mean, you can come back and say, oh, it's set in the 1930s. But this is a children's murder mystery. Not an accurate historic representation of boarding school in the 1930s. So, yeah. Anyway, I gave it 2 stars in the end. I'm really looking forward to that discussion with Gavin to see where we fall or where we meet in the middle or whatever. But as for right now, I think I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to actually start editing this vlog because it's my birthday on Monday and I don't want to spend the day editing the vlog like I normally do on a Monday. So I'm going to get a head start on that. And then you're sitting on Mistborn, but then I'm going to read some more Mistborn. So I will chat to you probably tomorrow. Hello, it's Saturday, the 27th? Yeah, it is a Saturday. Wow, this week feels really long, but it's been such a good week. I sat in bed last night and edited all of the vlog prior to this, and it's been such an incredible week. Such an incredible week. And then I decided to read The King's Letters because it's that 35-page ebook that I put on TBR Pursuit that I kept forgetting that I needed to read because it wasn't over in my TBR tray. So I sat in bed and read that. And it was 35 pages long. And was I crying within 4? Yes. Yes, I was. I don't know how a 35-page book can make you cry, but it did. Well, I say I don't know how. I do know how. It's the fact that I've read 4 chunky books beforehand, so I know these characters and I know the circumstances to which the letters were referring, and I know so much of the background information that all it took was like 2 pages of King Palus's letters for me to be like, oh god, oh no. Like, I know the bitch is dead, but like, not a spoiler by the way, like the first book starts with telling you that he's dead. But yeah, I read that. I gave it 5 stars. I gave a 35-page ebook 5 stars. But like, if it can make me cry within 4 pages, it deserves it. So yeah, that's another book for TBR Pursuit down. Hooray. I now just have the rest of this and then all of the Sisters of the Winterwood. So, I, this weekend, really need to read this goddamn book. So, that's what I'm going to try and do. That's all I'm going to try and do. I'm going to stop getting distracted by reading other things and read this book. Hello, it's Sunday. I've accepted failure. I'm going to try and read as much of The Final Empire today as I can. But the reality of it is just that I'm not going to finish it, which means I'll need to carry it over to Monday, Tuesday next week. And I still will finish it before the end of June, just not this week like I planned, which means I won't get to Sisters of the Winterwood, which means that TBR Pursuit will have more than likely a punishment for it, but fortunately only one, so it's okay. It should be alright. I do want to read it as well because it's an Ashley pick, so even if I don't get a punishment roll in TBR Pursuit, I reckon I'll still add it on just because I want to read it because it was Ashley's pick and I feel bad for not getting to it. Kind of admitting defeat before I've even reached the end of the week or the end of the month, but realistically, it's just not going to happen. I am still really enjoying this. I just am getting so massively distracted. Like, distracted to the point where I'm doing, like, useful things that need to be done that I would normally not do, or just, like, staring out the window, doing nothing. I don't know, my mind is wandering. I don't know if maybe it's, like, a side effect of being, like, just a little bit emotionally overwhelmed this week, because it's been wild. Today actually marks 1 year that me and Jake have lived in this house. We got the keys a year ago today, and, you know, it's the week of this. So it's just, like, a lot. And I'm really happy. And, yeah. I think maybe that's playing a part here. And it's my birthday tomorrow, and I'm really excited. That's how I'm doing. But I am still gonna be reading a lot more of The Final Empire today. I don't have anything else planned. I have got ambient music on, not the normal Narnia one that I listen to, because that's been removed. Instead, I've actually got the Pirates of the Caribbean one on. I just clicked on a random one that wasn't Narnia or freaking Harry Potter, just to see if I liked it, and the Pirates of the Caribbean one's alright. It doesn't have quite the same effect as the Narnia one, but it'll do. So, got that on. Got my book. I have been using my forest as well, because I need all the help I can get at the minute. But then as soon as my tree's grown, I'm like scrolling Twitter. Get off Twitter. Jesus. Also, I've been planning like what I'm going to be doing in July, because I have ideas for what I want to do in July, but I don't know how I'm going to make everything I want to do work. Okay, anyway, I'll check in with you at some other point. Hello folks, it appears I sort of pulled myself together for the rest of the day and have read a substantial amount of The Final Empire. I've read about 150 pages today-ish. I'm hoping to read another 50-ish pages, so that I've read 200 pages today, and, you know, you can see the chunk I've managed to get through today, which is pretty good. So if I can read another 50-ish pages, say, up to there, then I'll be happy, and then I'll only have this bit left to do Monday, Tuesday, which is fine. So I'm actually feeling okay about this. I'm still enjoying it. I think it's definitely getting a bit more fast-paced and action-packed. Like, I've read 150 pages of it today, and I want to keep going. I definitely think, now looking back on the beginning of it was quite slow, and I think maybe that's why I was getting so distracted and putting it down. It wasn't action-packed, it was interesting, I was enjoying getting to know the characters, but it wasn't captivating me, whereas more so now in the second half, like, it's captivating me more. The politics are way more at play, the action is picking up, I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more. But it's the first book in quite an expansive series, so I don't feel like I can fault it for that, but it definitely took some getting into, and now I'm into it. I'm really enjoying it, so yeah. I'll probably quite easily read the next 50-ish pages in bed, and then hopefully get the last, what would that make it, like last 200 pages done Monday, Tuesday. That should be alright. So yeah, still going strong with that. And of course it does mean that I have not picked up this one, Sisters of the Winterwood, just yet. I have some other books on there for no apparent reason. I'm going to do TBR Pursuit next week on Tuesday, which is the last day of June. I'm looking forward to that. So I don't know what my reading plans for the rest of next week actually are yet. But it is my birthday tomorrow, and I have a big birthday unboxing to do, which I'm quite excited about. So thank you very much to anyone who sent me anything. You're all very kind. But I will gush about all that in that video. But yeah, okay, I'm just rambling now, but I am going to wrap this vlog up. This week has been incredible. It's been a bit wild. We were actually looking at wedding venues today, which is a bit mad. It doesn't quite feel real, but it is. I don't want to get too like soppy and gushy about it, but you know, possibly the best week of my life so far. I can't stop staring at it. I am a mess. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this vlog. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, chat to me, etc. If you aren't subscribed and fancy subscribing, I would be eternally grateful for that. But yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.